Hey everyone, it's your favorite funny Minecrafter here, SpeedyCube64, and recently, I've been on a mission to find the funniest Minecraft speedrun ever done. There have been tens of thousands of Minecraft speedruns done over the years, with each of them having their own levels of based and cringe. One example of a wacky Minecraft speedrun was when C-Skull beat his own pre-1.9 world record on stream when all he was trying to do was practice for a tournament.
Oh, perfect. Is this actually world record? No way. This is world record? Holy crap, that's like, what, 50 attempts?
Another more recent example is the Talking Mime's current 1.16 personal best of 956, in which his friend was on Omegle the whole time.
Can I ask you a question?
Maybe.
Yeah, does it bust?
Do what?
Does it bust?
These runs are pretty based, but a couple of weeks ago, a run was brought to my attention that easily tops everything else in terms of its silliness. This run was quite scuffed and unpredictable the whole way through, but despite this, the runner played extremely well and ended up getting a time that most others can only dream of. In this video, I'll be showing you how Cruin was able to beat the game in under 11 minutes. Before we get into the run, here is a brief history of the runner. From my perspective, it seems like Cruin has had a laughably short speedrunning history, but in reality, he is no newcomer to the community. His first personal best was a 32-minute run from May 2021, and he improved quickly after that. In the following 5 months, he took 2 massive leaps, going all the way down to 17 minutes and then getting a sub 13 right after that. This time already cemented him as a top runner, as it would have been 46th place at the time. However, there was a bit of an issue with this run. It wasn't verifiable. In the process of getting this run, Cruin used an unapproved mod called C2Me, which speeds up world generation. This meant that if he wanted to get a top time on the leaderboard, he would have to match his time without using that mod. And this ended up taking a while, but 4 months later, he got a new personal best of 12:48, beating his previous run by just 8 seconds. Oh wait, never mind, it turns out that he was using a different mod that also invalidated the run. But Cruin kept going, and it took him 7 months this time, but eventually he was able to improve on his run again with a 12:21. And this time, he made sure to get rid of all the illegal mods, instead using a multi-instance wall to reset faster. This was huge. Now all he needed to do was check the recording and wait, where's the audio? Surely OBS didn't screw up on picking the sound up, right? Oh well, it's not like that issue would happen twice in a row or anything. Such a chain of unfortunate events would be absolutely devastating for most runners, but Cruin is a special kind of runner. On top of being super cracked at the game, Cruin is also extremely resilient, so he kept going at it, and almost a year after his first top run, Cruin would finally get the run that he deserved. The day is October 7th, 2022. Cruin is streaming Minecraft 1.16 speedrun attempts while listening to a playlist of nostalgic music from the late 2000s and early 2010s. His personal best is an 11:51, but his leaderboard time is a measly 17:17. He's resetting almost exclusively for an ocean spawn, as many top runners do, when he gets one of many promising looking seeds. Cruin spawns on an island with a full shipwreck right in front of him, which contains all the iron and wood he needs, as well as a couple of carrots. Once he makes his tools, he's off in search of a magma ravine, and it takes about 50 seconds, but he eventually finds one. He makes the typical magma portal and enters the Nether at 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and this is where the wacky stuff starts to happen. Cruin uses his entity counter to determine the direction of the nearest bastion. Once he pillars up out of a cave, he sees that the bastion is super close. He quickly recognizes that the bastion is a stables type, which is easily the most confusing type because of how many different ways it can generate. In this scenario, Cruin has to decide between 2 different bastion routes. The more consistent option would be to go to the bottom of the bastion and do a gap route. This has a high chance of giving him everything he needs, and it would take him around 2 minutes. The other option would be to do the triple chest route. This route would have a much lower chance of giving him the trades he needs, but if the luck is in his favor, he could be out of the Bastion in under a minute. Being the Giga Chad he is, Kruin decides to try his luck with the triple chest route. He gets a bunch of obsidian from the chests, but he only has 5 gold blocks to trade with the piglins. Unfortunately, the piglins don't even give him a single pearl trade. He checks his pie chart to see if there's a fortress nearby, and this is when he realizes just how good the Nether could have been.
10 chunk fort? Oh my god, fuck you. No, not like this. Not like this.
But Kruin doesn't feel like resetting the run just yet, so he does the only thing left there is to do. He goes to the lower ramparts and does the gap route. While he's waiting for his pearl trades, he finds the direction of the fortress and makes golden carrots. The piglins are a bit stubborn here too, but Kruin is at least able to get a stack and a half of pearls before running out of gold. He leaves the Bastion at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. He starts heading for the fortress, and as expected, it's super close. On top of that, it's in a soul sand valley, where fortresses tend to have high concentrations of stray blazes. He lowers his render distance to get as many strays as possible, and he ends up getting a decent amount. The first 5 blazes he kills end up dropping 3 rods, but then, things start to go south yet again. He reaches a spawner and kills 7 more blazes, but only 2 of them drop rods. Since he only needs 1 more rod at this point, he leaves the spawner and quickly gets his last rod from another stray blaze. Just kidding, he actually needs to kill 5 more before one of them finally decides to cooperate. His total blaze rod drop rates are 6 for 18, which is the 12th percentile of luck. He leaves the Nether at what would usually be considered a mediocre time of 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Once in the overworld, Kruin throws an ender eye and measures the angle. His calculator tells him that the stronghold is likely to be only 200 blocks away. Kruin uses a couple of pearls to travel across the overworld faster. His first pearl throw puts him onto safe ground, but the same can't be said about the second one. He slips and falls into a ravine, but thank God there's water at the bottom. He checks his coordinates again and realizes that the stronghold is so close that he can just dig to it from here. So he digs a few blocks forward and throws a pearl inside the hole so he can dig further. And this ender pearl just so happens to spawn an endermite, which only has a 5% chance of happening. Kruin hears this endermite and mistakes it for one of the silverfish that spawn in the portal room. This leads him to dig down, and he ends up finding one of the rooms of the stronghold. Coincidentally, the portal room ends up being nearby, and he enters the end at 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Realizing the pace he's on, Kruin makes a very inspirational speech about the current state of the run.
I love Florida, holy shit, Florida is so good. Regardless of its run, Florida is so fucking good.
After setting up the obsidian, he crafts 9 beds, which is plenty for the 1 cycle. Now all he has to do is wait for the dragon to perch. Or does he? Kruin doesn't know it at this time, but the dragon is about to give this wacky run a wacky finish. As you might already know, some dragon perches take longer than others. In particular, an east or west facing dragon perch is notorious for taking the longest because the dragon has to get all the way up to the top of the pillar before it can actually perch. Since the dragon always perches on the side of the end island opposite to the player, runners will always stand on the north or south side while waiting for the dragon to perch. But since Kruin had a caged off spawn in the end, it took him a bit longer to get to the fountain than usual. And during this time, the dragon just so happened to roll the 1 in 13 chance of an instant perch. So Kruin doesn't know it at this point, but the dragon is already getting into position to perch. And just a minute into the end fight, the dragon gives this run the cherry on top, and surprises Kruin by perching in the east direction. Kruin set up his obsidian in anticipation for a north-south perch, so now he has to 1 cycle the dragon from front to back, which is notorious for not doing as much damage with each bed. So all of a sudden, the fate of the entire run is dependent on whether or not Kruin can finish this unexpected 1 cycle. His long-awaited opportunity to get back to the top of the leaderboards is now at the mercy of how well he can time these beds. Will Kruin be able to clutch this end fight, or will he— Okay, enough beating around the bush. He literally has 9 beds. Of course he's gonna finish the 1 cycle.
I'm fucking done! I'm done! Fuck the category, dude. I'm done. I'm done. Dude, I can't beat that. That's too fucking funny. That was the worst run fucking ever. Holy shit. It's verifiable. Let's fucking go. It's verifiable.
Huge congratulations to Cruin for pulling off this incredible and hilarious run. Since sub 11 was his goal time, he's planning to retire from Minecraft speedrunning within the next month, or at least take an extended break. But at the moment, he's still going for a sub 10, albeit more casually. So if you want the opportunity to see that happen, you should follow him on Twitch and perhaps subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. And if you like this video, it might be in your best interest to subscribe to me too. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay speedy. Peace.